Hey friends, welcome back to Vlogtober. I'm LlamaMamaKayla, and I am happy to be back doing Vlogtober. I missed a few days because I was sick, really sick, and just having a hard time. I could not crochet, and I just appreciate you all understanding that. If you want to know what was going on in my last video, I explained it all, and but I'm feeling much better now. Lot less pain, still a little bit, but it's bearable, so I'm gonna roll with it and push on with my life and do what I enjoy doing, which is crocheting and talking to you guys. So it's October and it's Vlogtober, Crochetober, whatever you want to call it. So there are a few YouTubers that are working on the same type of blanket. I say the same type of blanket because everybody's blanket looks different. Everybody's just cool in their own way, and I'm loving seeing how everybody's blanket is working up. So there is Ashley from Stitch It Ain't Easy, Neva from Manic Mama Musings, Ella from No Catchy Name, Debra from Crochet Life and More and Stuff, and Cynthia from Crochet Stuff and More. I guess that's so wrong. Crochet Life and More. Oh. Anyway, the links will be below to all these friends who are working on a spider blanket. And some of our friends out in YouTube world are also working on spider blankets, and they're sending in photos of their blankets, and we're sharing them in our videos, and I think that is just awesome. I have a few to share today, and I love it. I love seeing all the different blankets. So what it is we've started with a spider square, and everybody's looks a little different. Even if they use the same pattern, their blanket and original spider square looks a little bit different. And so some people added spiders and some did not. And so every day everyone is adding a scrap ball into their blanket. And to me, each time you add a color, it just changes the whole blanket. So I'm loving watching everyone's blanket grow. They all look so cool, and I can tell mine has changed so much over, the days that I've added color into them. And so this is what I added last. I had added the blue, and then I tied on with this. It's a muted lime green. It's not really a bright lime green like this one. It's really a muted color. And this one came out of a cake ball that I had cut up. And so I was able to go around that far. Well, let's see. Here's where I ended. So it didn't make it around all the sides. Okay, it didn't make it from here to here. So this little section right here does not have the muted green. So I'll be adding another scrap ball on today. I don't know what color yet. It'll be a surprise tomorrow. And I'll add that color in and take off across this blue and down around the green, and we'll see how far that ball makes it and how that changes up the color and look of the blanket. So it's growing slowly, a row a day. Some days I do row or two. It just depends on how I feel, what I have going on, and also how big the scrap balls are. So that's what we have going so far. I love it. I love that. And so some of the girls were talking, and we're going to be doing a December blanket also. Not sure exactly what we're doing yet. It's still up for discussion, so watch out for that. Also, in addition to that, I am trying to do a square a day of these little balls I have. Someone who loves me sent me a package of these little balls that are about that big, and it's not scrap balls. It's and I don't have them in here with me. They're at my desk. They're little bitty skeins of yarn is what they are, about like that. And so I'm using those. Each day I'm trying to make a square with them. Some days I've made 2, some days I just have made 1. So I have 13 finished now. I have 13 finished now. This is number 13. It is pink, a light pink. And the little balls of yarn, the little bee skeins of yarn, they're all different. Like the sizes in them. Oh, I thought I did a white one. Not yet. Maybe I started working on it. They're different sizes. So I've been, when I get to the end of one, it is like, oh, am I going to make it? It's like playing yarn chicken, and you don't have any more of that yarn to finish it off. So sometimes whenever I'm finishing one off, I'm just like holding my breath to see if it's going to make it to the corner to tie it off. And then sometimes it's like a whole bunch left over. So those little bitty skeins are not the same size, but they're in such fun colors. You can see I just have the rainbow here. And I am going to put these together to make a pillowcase by the end of the month. So, you know, come back and watch for that. Now, this one right here, it did run out of yarn. I got right, here's my corner where I started. I got right here and it totally ran out of yarn. So I got the lightest pink I had and tied on and finished off that last granny stitch of 3 double crochets, and you really can't even tell. You really cannot even tell that those 3 are a different color. But even if you could tell, it's still fine. I love it. I love that way that's turning out, and I'm glad I have 13 squares. So we'll keep going. The last time I did a pillowcase blanket, I cannot remember how many rows. I'm doing 6 rounds on these. I can't remember the one that I was doing, how many rounds it was, but it took 12 to make the front side and 12 to make the back side of that pillowcase. I feel like these might be a little bit bigger. I don't know if the ones I was doing was 4 rounds or 5 rounds, but I don't feel like they were 6 rounds. So I'm not sure exactly how many it's going to take to make the pillowcase, but we will see. We'll just keep coming back and working on that each day. And I do have some photos that were sent in that I want to share. So Mary from Texas sent in her spider blanket, and hers looks really cool. She made a twist on hers, her little own twist, and made a darker web from the beginning. A lot of us that, the YouTubers, we all did white. I believe, yeah, everybody did white for their spider webs. She did a darker color for hers, and it does look cool. And so I'm going to pop in a picture of that. And I have Dana's spider blanket, which also looks cool. I love the colors that she used, and I know she's worked on it since she sent me that photo. She knew, we've talked back and forth, and she knew that I was kind of sick, had some sick days, so she hadn't sent an updated photo. But I love the way hers is working out, and especially on the photo she sent, the last couple of rows, she used a variegated yarn, and it looked really cool. So I appreciate those. I think I just have to. I did share Emily's in another another Vlogtober video that was about 2 Vlogtobers ago. And also I have some other photos to share. One is Ellen's Christmas blanket. Okay, Ellen lives here in Louisiana with me. She doesn't live that far from me, but I don't ever see her because she has a busy life. She actually lives closer to the Curry Farms that we visited not long ago. She lives right by them. But she homeschools her children. You know, I homeschooled my children for 23 years. She has 3 children that she homeschools, and they play sports. So they are busy with sports and traveling and doing stuff like that with sports and all. So, but she loves to crochet also, and she is making a Christmas blanket. And let me just tell you, this blanket is beautiful. I'm sure it just takes a lot of patience to make it. But anyway, she got the pattern from a crochet magazine. I believe she said it was Happily Hooked. And I know some of you out in there in the YouTube world do subscribe to Happily Hooked. But she sent me a photo of her blanket and how it's coming along, and it is gorgeous. So beautiful. So I'm going to pop that photo in, and I also have another photo to pop in, and it is from Julie. Julie, she knows that I, collect dolls, and I love dolls, so she sent me a photo of her sister's doll. And the story goes that her sister was 9 years old when they moved here from Italy, and her dad had bought her a doll. And so after all these years, Julie was going to make a dress for her sister's doll. So she asked her sister to send her wedding dress. So she used part of the dress is made from her sister's wedding dress, and part of it she crocheted. And it is a beautiful dress. And that is such a lovely doll. What a keepsake to have a doll from when you were 9 years old. And now that your sister made it a dress, using part of your wedding dress and then her crocheting, that is just awesome. So I hope in Julie's family and her sister's family, I hope that someone saves that doll and it gets passed down for many generations to come, because it is beautiful. So I'm going to pop all those pictures in at the end. So we need to check in and see what Mr. and Miss Bones is up to today. Okay, we lost them, right? Big Daddy and I searched this house over, okay? The living room and dining room. There was some stuff in here because Elijah had participated in the art crawl. And so when he had come on that night, well, first off, he made a mess packing his stuff up to go. Let me back up. He made a mess from making candles for several nights in a row. He would come home from work and make candles, and then he was up really late making the candles, and then he would just go to bed. And so he left quite a mess a couple of days, and we don't usually allow that. We like for the house to be cleaned up every night before we go to bed. But I knew he was tired, and he was coming home making several batches. And if you watched our candle video, you know that it takes a long time to make 4 candles. And he was making several batches a night. So it was taking a long time, and he was getting in the bed at 3 o'clock in the morning each night. And then he had packed up, and he took his stuff to the art crawl and participated in it. And he did very, very, very well. He sold lots of candles. And they invited him back to participate in December's art crawl. So he's excited about that. And so we had stuff that were just his boxes of stuff, his bags of stuff. All his stuff was on the coffee table and dining table. And that I had my crochet stuff that I had been working on and things. I had been pulling out some of my October stuff. And so anyway, Big Daddy and I could not find, for the last video that I did, we could not find Mr. and Miss Bones. We searched the living room and dining room. We searched my yarn room. Big Daddy went in there and was searching the doll room, and I said, I know they're not in there. I have not taken them into the doll room. We searched the kitchen. He was looking in his den, which I know they didn't go in the den because I have not taken them in there. And we just searched and searched and searched everywhere for them. We could not find them. So the other night, Elijah came home from work, and he was sitting here with me, and he was helping me make this display in the background. He was helping me make that. So we were sitting here measuring out the tool and stuff to make those. And I said, have you seen Mr. and Miss Bones? And he just literally looked over and said, there they are. And I looked, and there they were. They were like right there in plain sight the whole time. Me and Big Daddy could not find them. It was just hilarious. And I was like, I told Big Daddy when he came through, I said, Elijah found Mr. and Miss Bones. He said, where were they? I said, they're right there. And he looked over there, and he didn't see them at first. I said, no, look again, they're right there. And he looked, and there they were. So you never know what Mr. and Miss Bones is up to. So let's check in and see what they are up to today. I bet they're up to no good. Hey friends, for doll of the day, I thought I would share Beignet with y'all. Isn't she just a cutie? She is such a cute little doll. So Beignet is about 20 inches tall, and she is so cute. She is an Amazon doll, but I got her off Facebook Marketplace for $5. I saw her, someone had posted a picture of stuffed animals, and they had like a price for all the stuffed animals, and they had a price if you wanted to buy individual stuffed animals, and she was in there. She didn't have any clothes on, and she was just kind of laying up in the stuffed animal pile. So I messaged them and asked them how much for the doll, and the lady said $5, and I said I can meet you tomorrow morning. And so we went and met her, and I picked her up, and I came home and wiped her down really good and cleaned her up, washed her hair the best that I could, and then I gave her a haircut and got her dressed. And she is so cute. She has such a cute little expression on her face. So she sits up on a shelf in the dolly room with her little vintage mushroom dress on. So that's Beignet. I wanted to share her with y'all today. I appreciate you watching, and please watch for the photos that's going to be added in on the very end today. And I will see you all again tomorrow. Bye, guys.